Hey, Duff here. I'm heading out on my KingSong. It's Friday evening. My plan is to ride to the track, get my roughly 5K run in, and ride it back. Right now the app is showing 95% battery. So this is the first time I'm riding the wheels since I had it apart to charge each battery pack independently. So what the intent here is to run the battery down and then charge it, charge both packs conventionally and see if they still only charge to 76%. That's what we're trying to figure out. And the intent of me running is so I don't have to set the alarm tomorrow at 6 a.m. I did this last week about 8 o'clock at night. Wasn't much fun. Right now it's about 6, so we'll see if it's any more fun. I doubt it though. So I've never done this combination before, you know, go ride my EUC somewhere and then go run and then ride the EUC back. You know, Cindy's not a huge fan of the plan, but she normally isn't a huge fan of a lot of my EUC plans, so it'll be fine. Cruising about 21. Have my GPS on right now. I'm not a very good runner. I just kind of do it just to, I don't know, just kind of to prove that I still can, even though I'm old. I'm not fast. Things usually hurt afterwards, but yeah, still trying to do it. The most serious I was ever into running was probably in like my early to mid 40s. My body weight was real low. I was like in the low to mid 170s, and I was running 2 to 3 times a week. And I actually did my longest distance was a half marathon. Did that 3 times during that time period. Skies do look menacing, so I don't care if I get wet, but I don't want the 18L to get wet, so I got to figure out a good spot to put it. Still haven't gotten a chance to check the tire pressure on this thing, but whatever it's at feels really good. Just it's firm enough that you know, it rolls nicely, but takes bumps pretty well too. All right, we have arrived. Didn't take very long. Running sneakers are not the best choice when it comes to EUC footwear, for sure. Put your foot at a bad angle. Okay, I see nobody here. That's nice. Now I just have to figure out where I want to stash this thing. All right, got it stashed in the corner here. Kind of underneath an overhang a little bit. So, of course, if it starts to rain, I will be watching intently. And it's close enough to the track that if I see any hijinks going on, I'll run them down, believe me. Here we go. So much fun. I always stretch after I run. I kind of just try to get loose for the run just by kind of starting out slower. I don't stretch before. It doesn't hurt to do it, but I don't. It just does not get any easier. My stretch routine is pretty quick. It's just quad, hamstring. This is my IT band. And then also my calf. This is in a good spot. Stretching is very important, especially as you get older. You really need to do your best to try to get on some sort of regular stretching routine to maintain flexibility, because as you lose flexibility, you lose your ability to do things. So I know stretching isn't fun, stretching is kind of boring, but if you're serious about your health, you'll do it. so celebrate running by going home and eating pizza. It's funny, again, speaking about as you get old, you know, when you're younger, Friday night means, yeah, let's go out and drink and party with my friends, let's look for chicks, let's do all that crazy stuff. And yeah, my idea of a great Friday night is going home, eating pizza, and watching shows on X1 on my 70-inch TV. Oh, that run, by the way, not that it's going to impress anybody. Distance tracked by the GPS was about 3.5 miles at a 9:21 pace. As I said, not fast at all. And get back into bike mode is what I use for the electric unicycles. I'd like to put on my sunglasses, but right now I'm so overheated, they're just fogging up on me, so I guess I won't. So the ride over here was only roughly 3 miles from the house, and it shows them down to 80% battery. Now it's 95, 15% to go 3 miles. Doesn't sound all that good, does it? Alright, so let me just text Cindy that I'm leaving. Oh, interesting. I just got a notification for another firmware update for the 618L version 110. Let me just quickly read these notes. Recover manual sensor calibration. Make manual calibration and automatic calibration both available. Sounds like, you know, I guess people were complaining that you couldn't be very precise with the calibration. Version 109, because this has 107, added multi-RGB pattern. So new light pattern. Self-checking to match a firmware version and series number. If not matched, the wheel will lose balance. Alright, so it sounds like they want to make sure you're on the right firmware for the hardware. Version 108, automatic sensor calibration, avoid wheel freeze issue. Alright, so that was the notes for version 108. So I'm not going to do that right now. I'll do it when I get home, I guess. So interesting. Alright, so my battery's fluctuating between 80 and 81%. Let's head back. I always wonder how much, I've never heard it laid out, like exactly how much juice is used by Bluetooth communication when you're using the app. I wouldn't think it would be that much, but maybe it's more significant than I thought. Alright, let's go. My legs are tired and sweaty. I'm going to go back the way I came to avoid as much traffic as possible. At least this should help kind of air dry me a little bit by the time I get home. Sometimes, like if you go home and I try to take a shower right after running, you take a shower, you clean off, but your body's still sweating. So you get out of the shower and you notice that you're still overheated. So that's kind of worthless. So maybe I can avoid that by riding my EUC home first. So I've said many times, I talk about it on my blog a lot too, how I've never enjoyed running. I mean, I started running in my teens when I was playing baseball. I was a pitcher in junior high, well, not high school, and Legion ball. And you know, part of that is you need to have good legs to maintain your endurance as a pitcher. You need strong legs. They want you to run. So that's when I started to run. I continued to run into my 20s. Not real consistently, but I could run, and I would probably be running in the 8s pace-wise. And then I got really into volleyball, and I ran much less. Then, as a result of playing volleyball, man, I'm so tired I can't hold the freaking GoPro out. As a result of playing volleyball, I tore the meniscus in my right knee playing indoor ball when I was 32, I think. And after that, I had a hard time doing anything. Kept trying to play. I was really into volleyball. Kept trying to play volleyball. Kept hurting myself. I actually wound up I didn't really run during that time period, and I wound up getting a second arthroscopic knee operation on my right knee when I moved to Florida when I was 34, I guess, something like that. So I actually got to the point where I was playing volleyball again, beach volleyball, which is a little less stressful in the joints. And I eventually picked up running again. With my second wife, Allison, we decided to start running probably I don't know. Once we moved down to Florida, we were kind of looking for ways to meet people. And we started running, doing 5Ks in my mid to late 30s, I guess. Like I said, I've never really enjoyed it. I would say that running, what I enjoy is a sense of accomplishment of completing something that sucks. You know, to me, it always kind of, it's like a mental exercise as much as it is a physical exercise. And like I said, my high point in running was in my mid 40s, and at this point, it's just, you know, I had a series of annoying knee injuries, IT band problems, so my running has been scaled back to what it is now, which is basically once a week, running 13 laps around the track. And it's funny, when I run, like, I don't wear headphones normally, never really did. Just, it's a safety issue, but it does definitely help take your mind off of things, so it probably wouldn't have been a bad idea if I would have started to do that. But I always just run and listen to whatever is going on, and usually what happens is my mind starts to wander, and I go through the same mental checklist as I'm running the laps. Lap 1, I'm usually just like, what am I doing? I feel so miserable. I'm all tight. You know, my knees feel cranky. My hips feel cranky. So yeah, I say lap 1 and 2 are pretty much the same way. Then lap 3, usually I'm about as warmed up as I'm going to get. I'm like, okay, well, most of the pain has subsided at this point. So after lap 3, I'm ready to go. Lap 4 is significant in my mind because I realize that I now have completed a mile, so I've accomplished something. Lap 5, usually I feel like I'm well into the run once I manage to get to lap 5. Lap 6, I think how I'm almost halfway. I'm almost halfway. Actually, lap 6.5 is when I'm halfway, but I start thinking about being halfway done at that point. And when I complete lap 7, I'm more than halfway done, so I try to look optimistically on lap 7. Lap 8, I've completed 2 miles, and again, that's another milestone where I think how I'm basically 2/3 done, far into the run. It's a positive thing. Lap 9 is sort of, there's a couple laps that are kind of meaningless. Lap 9 is one of them. Don't really think about much, except I just can't wait to get to lap 10. Alright, so when I get to lap 10, that means that I'm now into double digits, so I'm making some good progress, and it also means that I only have a mile to go. And when I get down to a mile to go, I usually will think back to my half marathons, my 3 half marathons, and I will remember how when I was at mile 12 and I only had a mile to go in a half marathon, I'm like, oh man, a mile, that's nothing. Now a mile now feels much harder than it did back then, but I try to trick myself into thinking, hey, you only got a mile. Remember how that felt when you're running a half marathon. You're almost done. Okay, lap 11 is another kind of throwaway lap. I don't really think about it much. Just means I'm one lap closer to the end. Lap 12. That's when I start to get excited, as I get, because as I start passing marks on the track, I tell myself, well, I only have to pass this mark one more time and then I'm freaking done. So, yeah, lap 12, I'm getting pretty excited. And then finally, we get to the last lap, lap 13. I don't really accelerate anymore. If anything, maybe I lengthen my stride. So I'm going slightly faster lap 13. And then the last, I don't know, 50 yards or so, whatever I have left in the tank, I try to expend and sprint to the finish, even though it's not really a sprint. And then I'm done. I mean, it's just during the run, it's literally just mental warfare, because, you know, there's part of me, it's just like, why are you doing this? You know, you're 50 years old, you have shitty knees, you're bow-legged. You know, I'm not built for running. Big floppy feet. You know, why are you doing this? And you know, the other part of me is just like, you know, because I got to. You know, I don't like to give up, and unless I have a significant injury, you know, I want to keep doing this as long as I can. I'm doing 17 to 20 on the way back. This thing rides great, man. I really like the way it rides. I hope the battery problem's fixed, because otherwise I really like this wheel. Looks like I might be getting home just in time. Some very menacing skies ahead. Home again, home again, home again. Nice. Alright, so let's do a check. Yeah, so this does not make me feel good. 64%. And that was only another 3 miles. So we were at 80. We dropped another 14%. It's consistent. 14-15% to go 3 miles. Yeah, that's not cool. Unfortunately, I think I may still have a problem. Alright, so if you want to just read these notes, feel free to pause. Hopefully you can read them. Feel free to pause the video at this point if you want to see the notes for the version 1.10 firmware for the 18L. We'll take it inside and install it. Alright, well, like I said, I'm not feeling real optimistic about the battery problem, but it was nice to ride over there, nice to get the run out of the way. I can now sleep in tomorrow without an alarm, so that's awesome. If you found this video interesting, entertaining, educational, please give it a big thumbs up. If this is your first time visiting the channel, please consider subscribing. Feel free to leave your thoughts, comments, and suggestions below. I'll be doing some more riding on the 18L this weekend, and I will give you my diagnosis, what the outcome is, as soon as I know. So that's it for now. Hope you have a great weekend, and until next time, definitely out.